Hey YouTube, it's Petey Two Finger, and we just got finished watching Us and Them, which is the Roger Waters. I think it's 2019 it came out, and this is his concert movie that he made on the Us and Them tour. So this is just before COVID. Um, we went to the I went to the show and saw it in its entirety with my daughter, who that was her first. She was maybe like 20, 19 at the time. That was her first Roger Waters show, and we both.
No, it was your second.
Okay, yeah, she was real young at her first, so we both cried. I cried a lot at the S and M tour. I remember specifically, the first time I saw Roger, I was tripping pretty hard, and I got shook up at one moment. But this tour, I cried a lot at the Wall, um, but this tour really got to me, and I think it was his best tour. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm recommending that you go over wherever you can see it, or just purchase the DVD is what I would recommend. This is something you should have in your collection. It's really well done, and the mix is in Dolby Atmos. So if you ever end up getting set up like that, that's capable of that. It's a Dolby Atmos mix, which if you don't know what that is, it's the normal surround sound with another speaker on the ceiling, so they can mix stuff that goes up and down. Now, I've never missed a Roger Waters concert. I think there was one that I didn't see when he came back around, but specifically as far as a tour, like, oh, he's playing Dark Side of the Moon, or the Radio Chaos tour, Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking, uh, The Wall, the what was it, In the Flesh, Us and Them. I've seen all of his tours. Every time he's come, I've never missed Roger Waters. And I'm not an expert on his shows, but I'm a fan. I have all of his solo albums. I know them all note by note, memorized them in my head from over listening to that stuff. And I just got to tell you, the Us and Them it was his best show. It just sounded incredible. Like if you go back in time, uh, the early Roger Waters stuff, like he kind of, it was almost like he had a grudge against that music, the music that he made with Pink Floyd, and so he did it a little differently. Like he would perform the music differently. And it would be like a live version of the song. It would be stripped down, like you're waiting for a guitar solo, and it would be a sax solo. I know I've brought this up before, and then somewhere around the time when Doyle Bramhall the third, or the Us and Them tour, um, then it was like he came out and it was like, wow, he's really um, emphasized on the music to make it sound like the album. And of course, it doesn't. The solos are be a little different, but uh, there was that moment in which he had kind of rejected. It seemed like he treated the music differently. And certainly you can hear that if you listen to live versions of Roger Waters stuff. And then up at one point, it's like he started focusing on trying to do it some justice. And like when I saw The Wall, it was like, wow, like it was really something else. Like, and emotional too. Like I was just, it was my birthday. I was in nosebleed seats, and I ended up got way up better seats. But I was just, I had to go on the break and get a bunch of toilet paper from the bathroom because I just couldn't stop crying. And this Us and Them, watching it now at home, um, it had the same effect on me. There's kind of a story that's told, and it's really sad. I don't want to start crying on camera, but it's very eloquently done. There is a story. We went and looked at the reviews, and it's got like an 8.1 where Pink Floyd has a 9.3 for their Pulse show. And in with all of these reviews for Roger Waters are all these 1-star reviews where people are furious at him. It's all 10 stars and then 1 stars. And the 1 stars are people who claim that this Roger Waters, Us and Them is all about bashing Trump. Where there's one song where they do use imagery. They are showing Trump. It's a song called "Pig Street" if it was, but the rest of it, uh, it has nothing to do with Donald Trump and the rest of it. It's a Palestinian woman who's lost her daughter. Her daughter got killed. So if that's something you think is going to make you rage out and angry, if you're like a Zionist or you don't understand the conflict or what's really been going on, maybe you don't want to watch this thing. But some people were claiming it's an Antifa training film, and I'm like, I always say like, oh, I'm a middle of the road politics guy. I'm really right wing. I really am. And like I was just bawling through this, just crying. I could not stop crying because of the message. And the message of Pink Floyd, there's this thing that's kind of hopelessness. Like if you pay attention to the lyrics on Eclipse, it's like da 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 da, but the sun is eclipsed by the moon. You know, he puts it right out there. It's like no matter how much good there might be, that lightness is going to be quashed by the darkness. And he's putting it out there like this is what we're up against. So we're going to have to work hard. We're going to have to really try hard to turn things around for us as human beings. So if that message is the one that's going to make you see red and want to give him a 1-star review, don't watch it. But if you're a normal human being that has sensory perception and you can comprehend stuff that's a little bit vague, stuff that's thrown out there for you to put the pieces together, that's what this is. And there is that one like anti-Trump sentiment thing in there, which I thought was hilarious. I thought it was really funny. The images, like when I was there live and I saw it, I could not stop laughing at it. The ending of it is really something. I'm going to get choked up. They perform. Oh my God, here it comes. Us and Them, which is like, it doesn't get any better. And then they go right into there's no any color you like. They go right into Brain Damage Eclipse. That's the end of it, and it's really spectacular and something to see. So if you are a fan of Pink Floyd, you should definitely check out. It's called Us and Them. It's like it might even be 2 hours long.
I think it was.
It was the best concert I ever saw in my life. It really was. It was unbelievable how great it was. And the next day, my singer called me up and he said, "Hey, would you like to go see the best concert you ever saw in your life again?" And I hadn't talked to him. He didn't know I went, or he was going to buy tickets for us to go to the next state, and we did. We went over there and picked him up, and ran into a bunch of traffic jams on the way there, and we ended up coming in about 6 songs into it. We missed the beginning, which was really good. The beginning is great. But yeah, Roger Waters, if you've never seen him perform live, he's coming around again. We're going. It's going to be, what's it called?
This is not a drill.
This is not a drill. Yeah, in the round. So yeah, you should at least check out his concert videos. The one going back to the In the Flesh DVD is worth your time. Everything after that, I would say definitely check it out. I don't think there's DVDs for anything before that. But man, I watched it tonight, and it's. I said to my wife, this should be mandatory viewing. Every human being on this earth should watch that DVD. It's really really good. The audio on it is just spectacular. The band sounds so good. I could care less if they played the tracks or if there was recorded stuff in there, and I'm sure there was. But some of the dual lead stuff and just some of the stuff in there was put David Gilmour's stuff to shame. Really did. And typically people always say, oh, David Gilmour's Pink Floyd's, that's where the music is really good. No. Watch the Us and Them DVD and get back to me. He smoked David Gilmour. And the rest of the stuff that goes along with it, all that stuff that makes me cry, David Gilmour's never been able to do that. He never could channel any of that heavy emotional stuff. But yeah, check it out. I think you'll dig it. Roger Waters, Us and Them. Really, really good stuff. Take care of yourselves. Hug your pets. And peace.